Once upon a time, after my parents' ugly divorce, my mother had custody of me and my brother, and my father was due to grab us for the summer. It was his turn. We were supposed to stay with him for the summer. Now, the problem is we lived in Kentucky with my mother at the time, and my dad was still stationed in Germany. He still lived in Germany. So, you know, your pop's coming to pick you up for the summer is not like driving across town. It's not like, driving an hour and a half away, Louisville, Lexington to Cincinnati. It was catch a flight, cross the Atlantic Ocean, 6-hour time difference, far. I was at the end of my 8th grade year, so it was the summer right before my freshman year in high school. I remember me and my mother fell out because I told her, knowing how toxic the divorce proceedings had went, I was like, you're never going to see us again. Like, you can't let us go. If we go, we're not coming back. And my mom just kept saying, the courts say that you gotta go, it'll be all right. You'll be back at the end of the summer. To keep it all the way real, my father conveniently lost our passports and kidnapped his 2 sons, and we were gone for 2 years. Until the courts, the military, a lot of things happened, and he eventually relented and let us leave and go back to the United States. 2 years. It took 20 plus, almost 30 years, at least 20 plus years, for me and my mom's relationship to recover. I love my mom the whole time, but she has no idea what happened to me during those 2 years. And my mom, I know for a fact, held a guilt about it because she didn't listen to her oldest son, who was right. But at the end of the day, that wasn't her fault. Carrying guilt is like poison, and you gotta get that out of your system. Hello, Governor. This is Rakai Steed, nupefromdaville. I'm gonna keep this real short. I watched a movie. It's probably currently the #1 movie on Netflix, called Atlas, with Jennifer Lopez. I know. It's a Jennifer Lopez movie. I don't know why I watched it. She did look good in it, though. Anyway, science fiction, mech robots, and AI seemed interesting. Sterling K. Brown, Simu Liu. Wasn't bad. Turn off your brain kind of movie and just watch. It wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. And in case you're so inclined to watch, I'm not going to really go into the plot of the movie. However, it is about the dangers and threats of AI, where in the movie you get to see both sides, where AI can be extremely so helpful, and at the same time, AI can be the most dangerous thing known to man. We keep tinkering and try to make robots and artificial intelligence, what AI stands for if you didn't know, make something that's smarter than us. And we just don't have enough sense to look at our own history and find out if we make something smarter than us, it won't take long for them to figure out, oh, you're the problem. We don't need you anymore. Y'all are the problem. This is the Matrix. This is Terminator. Like, the Examples are endless, and we keep making movies like this and then keep trying to live out those movies in real life for some unknown reason. Yeah. Anyway, Jennifer Lopez's character, Atlas, carried a guilt with her that was mind-numbing. And that is such a heavy burden to carry. Heavier than water. The thing is, you can allow someone to set up shop and have full resonance, have full control over your mind. And more often than not, it's someone who could give two shits about you, who hasn't thought about you. But because you can't let loose of your guilt, or maybe it's vengeance, or maybe it's some other emotion, you let people live rent-free in your mind, and they haven't thought about you at all. I remember I had a cousin of mine, and she said to me, she said, you know, why are you and your cousin in competition? And I just looked at her and I was like, what are you talking about? And she said, after having a conversation with him, she said all he seemed to talk about was what I was doing and what car I had purchased and what things I had going on in my life. And she's like, why are y'all in competition? And I was like, listen, everything you just said is news to me. I'm not in competition with anyone. Life is hard enough. I said, you know who I'm in competition with? These bills. I'm in competition with my paycheck. Because I work a full 40. And when I look at the amount, it's not enough. No, we're all gifted with the same 168 hours like everyone else. And what you do with that is up to you. And I am choosing to work my 40 and spend time doing this. But my main focus after the job really is on my kids. My schedule, my life is kind of set up around them. And that's kind of what I do. You know, someone told me, you deserve to have a life too. And I get it. I do. And I guess with the time that I deserve to have that life, I'm doing this. It is what it is. But I'm not in competition with anyone. The fact that anyone, and I've had some people who used to be extremely, extremely close to me, tell me that I need to keep their name out my mouth and all this type of stuff. And I was like, you know, you give yourself far too much credit. I don't talk about you. I don't even think about you. And that's real. And life is too short for that. It takes everything just to maintain my peace. I understand carrying guilt. When we ended up in Germany for those 2 years, all I could think about is, if I said this, if I did this, then circumstances would have been different. Maybe this punishment would have happened. Maybe this beating wouldn't have happened. Maybe we would be back in America. And really, probably none of that mattered, because it wasn't about me. It was about the fact that my father felt that he could have a one-up on my mother, and he took full advantage of the situation. He was going to show her he was better than her, he was smarter than her. And if me and my brother were collateral damage, then so be it. And it's hurtful. And as kids, you can carry that with you because you feel like, how did I come into the situation? Maybe it was something about me. But that situation didn't have anything to do with me or my brother. It didn't. And at the end of the day, when that man is standing at the pearly gates, he's going to have to answer for the choices that he made in his life. Just like when my time comes, I'm going to have to answer for what I've done and what I have not done. No man can answer or take your burdens for you. But it's something to carry guilt with you. It's a weight, it's a burden that is almost impossible to get off of your shoulders. That's why I'm a full advocate for therapy. I helped to destroy my marriage because I got into a very deep, dark, depressive place. You know, when you deal with depression, it's debilitating in the fact that for the longest, I didn't even realize, I did not know that I was depressed. Because depression to me looked like this. I thought I would dress in all black and be all gothic and think about suicide all the time. And I am not making light of that anyway. In any way, shape, or form, I'm not making light of that. But to me, that's what I thought depression was. And I didn't recognize that I had so many other symptoms of different forms of depression. And my own self-esteem eroded. My relationship with my wife eroded. My relationship with my kids was diminished. Now, I could get in social circles and smile and make you think everything is all right. And then I would get home and I would go to my little man cave in the basement and sit on the couch and disappear from society. Disappear. I felt sluggish. I felt worthless. And the thing about therapy is you can't even begin to deal with your current problems until you go back and deal with your past problems to even figure out how you got here so that you can deal with this to move forward. It's possible. But you have to recognize that you have an issue. You have to want to deal with that issue and not have too much pride to seek help. There's a lot of people that deal with guilt on a daily basis. And sometimes you don't have all the information. Sometimes you not have the necessary communication to find your way out of it. I've had a number of situations where guilt weighed heavily on my heart. And I'm now at a place where, I wouldn't say I'm healed. I still have dark days, but I have far more light days than dark. It's a roller coaster and it's hard to ever get off. You know, I say the potter's wheel. It's hard to get off the potter's wheel till you've learned your lesson. But I do know that through therapy, I've learned how to not only cope, but see situations for what they are, find ways to deal with them so they don't disturb my peace, and keep it moving. And I pray to God each and every day when I wake up, thank you for allowing me to open my eyes and have an opportunity to be a better man today than I was yesterday. And that's real. I'll leave you with this. What I said a minute ago is really what's most important. If you have an issue and feel that you are not the best you that you can possibly be, I know some of us think that, you go to church and talk to your pastor, have someone pray to you. You talk to your best friends. You resort into vices, drugs, alcohol, gambling, sex, whatever. Maybe it's time for you to get some professional help. Don't be prideful enough to ask for some help. Figure your shit out. Do what you can to fix it. Because life is what happens while we're busy making plans. Life's gonna keep on lifing. And the only way for you to get better is to figure your shit out and get better. Because the people around you, the people who love you, deserve that. And more than that, you deserve that. This is Rakai Steed, nupefromdaville. It's all about this, and especially this right here.